Look, I have to come clean. Female Space Marines are a necessity. They are needed and they are doable. Who cares if a few hundred books get ignored? Really, that's not important. What's really important is the fact that women can see themselves represented into the main army that Games Workshop promotes. Who cares if they use the Sisters of Battle for the 9th edition trailer? Let's be honest, 9th edition is so long ago, now we're preparing for the 10th edition. And let's be honest, in those Terminator armor, there should be some strong, powerful, muscle ladies out there being independent and not needing a man to tell them what to do. That's the truth, okay? Who cares about lore and perceived ideas that the Emperor didn't plan this? When you have Fabius Bile and Belisarius Call, you don't need the Emperor. You don't need some antique design and bigoted biology stuff to make female Space Marines. They are a necessity to the Warhammer world and universe. They are needed as much as bolt guns are needed for the Space Marines. And let's be honest, the universe of Warhammer 40k is vast and it's filled with propaganda. There's no lore in it, okay? Let's be honest. There's no lore in 40k. All those books that I read in the excerpts and whatever, it doesn't matter. They don't count because they're not lore. 40k doesn't have lore, let's be honest. Everything is just Imperial propaganda. So out there in the vastness of space, more than likely there are female Space Marines battling against female Space Marines that are corrupted by chaos. Okay? Because 40k has no lore. All those books and first-person perspectives, third-person perspectives, things that are canonical mentioned through multiple books and series, those don't matter. What really matters is that the universe needs female Space Marines. Who cares about world building? Who cares about a world respecting the rules of its setting when you can have female Space Marines? It's not like women have any other option than to see themselves represented in that, okay? It's not like all the Eldar can be female. It's not like all the Tau can be female. It's not like the Imperial Knights can be female. Women don't have a proper army that represents them. And don't bring up Sisters of Battle because nobody likes nuns with guns, okay? If that's your fetish, whatever, we don't discriminate with fetishes here. But nobody likes nuns with guns, and they are not a proper replacement for female Space Marines. Because female Space Marines are the poster boys, or in this case the poster girls, for Games Workshop and 40k. We need more women. If they can do that for Age of Sigmar, where the whole armies are not male-centric and heteronormative, why can't we do the same for Warhammer 40k? We already have a non-binary Adeptus Mechanicus, Magos, that everybody loves. Nobody has anything against it or the author that came up with it. So why can't we have female Space Marines? Oh, many people now bring up, the book says no, nobody cares about the book. Okay? Games Workshop is just bigoted in its ideas about female Space Marines, that they use transphobic and turfish language to justify an outdated concept that should have remained back then when they made the game in the 80s. Not bring it in today's age. Let's be honest, it's 2023, okay? That tells you everything. It's 2023, is the current year. We don't need to have a separation and distinction between men and women because there is no distinction between men and women. They are the same thing. And let's be honest, chuds, at the end of the day, Games Workshop will fall. They will give us what we want. They will give us female Space Marine because this is what the community wants. Everybody complains about the lore, which, by the way, doesn't exist in 40k. 40k has no lore, doesn't know what they're talking about. It's magic. You can do whatever you want in it. You can create an amazing world filled with powerful women warriors that are not nuns with guns, that can be the poster boy for the series. If you can have Lord of the Rings and have women there and women characters, why can't you do the same with 40k? Make them female space marines. It doesn't matter if women without power armor or genetic enhancements can reach even greater status than space marines. Because at the end of the day, Games Workshop plasters space marines everywhere, especially the ultramarines. By the way, the 500 worlds of ultramarines of Ultramar, they don't really matter. They should be able to have women space marines. They're 500 worlds, let's be honest here. The Ultramarines chapters will recruit from everywhere. I guarantee you there's an Ultramarine and a Blood Angel and Imperial Fist successor chapter that's filled with women. Your favorite chapter, including the Black Templars, including the Executioners and the Minotaurs, are filled with women warriors that are Space Marines. Accept it, chud. Female Space Marines are a thing. They are here to stay. They exist already. Let's remember that Alan Merritt, who didn't contradict himself ever and never told a lie in his life, like Abe Lincoln, who also never lied in his life and never said anything bad, mentioned that female Space Marines existed, but they didn't sell. You see, chuds? They didn't sell. They didn't sell, which means that they made them, they are canonical in Rogue Trader, and they are canonical in 40k. Because let's be honest, 40k has no lore. What about the squats, huh? They were gone and eaten by Tyranids, and here they are now. Look at them. We have squads, the League of Votan. Those are squads. You see, 40k doesn't have lore. Games Workshop just does everything it can to get as much money as they possibly can. At the end of the day, all you're crying about the lore means nothing because you're all the tourists. Okay, you say everybody that likes female Space Marines and wants female Space Marines in canon, that doesn't exist in 40k, are tourists. But no, we're not the tourists, you are the tourists. We are here since the first edition, since Rogue Trader. We are here even before that, when Games Workshop made this first fantasy miniatures for D&D. We bought those. You know what? We don't even did that. We gave a sandwich to the creators, okay, like Alan Merritt. We gave them a sandwich even before they started Games Workshop. We are here before all of you, and because of that, we have more saying power. Oh no, you're gatekeeping. We're gatekeeping the gatekeepers. This is what we're doing. We're gatekeeping the gatekeepers because we must gatekeep the gatekeepers to maintain our sense of security and protection. Because if we do not do that, they will come and cry about the lore and not understand that female Space Marines always existed. Just remember, Aaron Merritt never said a lie in his life, never contradicted himself in his life when he mentioned female Space Marines existing and being made, and there being models of them, but they didn't sell because chuds like you are not willing enough to play with female toys because you are scared of dolls. At the end of the day, you play with plastic dolls and create the No Girls Allowed Club just so you can feel yourself better and be misogynistic. That's it, that's the problem. And remember one thing, you are not welcomed. You are not welcome into Warhammer. You are not welcome into anything because Games Workshop said that. They didn't ever contradict themselves and take back that statement in a way after a mass email campaign came at them. No, they never done that. All they did was tell you, you are not welcome. You are part of the Nazi, fascist, right-wing extremist, terrorist, stochastic terrorist problem, misogynistic, transphobic problem that Warhammer 40k has at the current moment. We know you're just lying. You don't care. You are those things. You pretend that you're gay. You pretend that you somehow have immigrant friends, but we know you are racist. You are everything in the book, because if you're not everything in the book, you're lying about it. We know you are, and we know because the moment you see female Space Marines, you start crying about the Lord. The moment you see somebody, a good person like Bitshammer, talk about female Space Marines and how they are needed for representation, you cry about how there's always Sisters of Battle and act as if Bitshammer is the biggest problem and plague in the Warhammer community. It's like he used an inappropriate term referring to a woman that disagreed with him on something. That is not true. You are just chuds making everything up, and you will not be missed.